So last summer when PRS launched the Silver Sky SE Mapleboard version, I went to Brian's guitars and played 50 of them and chose my favorite. And so when I reviewed this guitar here on the channel, one of the most common questions I received was, why did I choose the maple fingerboard version over the rosewood board version? And the honest answer is, I just had it in my mind that I wanted the maple board version. And so I'm a curious person, and I'd like to be able to answer that question from a place of experience and knowledge. And so there was really only one thing to do. So I took a ride back out to Brian's and picked out my favorite rosewood fingerboard version of the PRS Silver Sky SE. And so in this video, I'll do several sound demonstrations of the Rosewood Fingerboard SE Silver Sky. I'll share some of my observations having played several different examples of this model in the store and why I chose the specific one that I did. And then I'll finish off with a sound demonstration in the basement outside of the production environment so you get a sense for what it sounds like in an everyday context. That was position 4, bridge and middle pickup for that quintessential Strat quack. Suffice to say, I think this guitar has no problem covering that hi-fi, clean 80s chorus studio Strat type of tone. So up next, I'm going to stay in position 4. I'm going to kick on some light overdrive with my Vemram Janray, and I'm going to play the motif from the intro, where I'm playing a percussive rhythmic lead line. So let's check out how the guitar sounds in that context. So I was really inspired with the Tremolo system on this guitar when I was crafting the opening solo. It's a 2-point trem. It came from the factory floating, which means you can pitch down and up. Works great, it's quite smooth, very expressive, and stays in tune. So up next, I'm gonna go to the neck pickup. I'm gonna play some filthy, bluesy rhythm riffage. This style reminds me a little bit of Philip Sayce with a lot of that spanky thumb around the neck type of rhythm playing. I also mentioned him in my review of the Mapleboard Silver Sky SE, so I was hearing some of those tones in that guitar as well. It turns out since I made that video, Philip has signed on with PRS, so I'll be really curious to see what they collaborate on. I have no inside knowledge there or association, just curious to see if anything comes out of that. Let's check that out. So up next, I'm going to kick on a tube screamer, and I'm going to play through all 5 pickup positions in order to demonstrate the full tonal range of this guitar. I think the thing I'm impressed with most with the Silver Sky SEs is the pickups, both on the Mapleboard version and the Rosewood board version. All 5 pickup positions to me sound like the best neck, middle, and bridge pickups I've heard on a Strat. So I'd be curious to your thoughts as well as what your favorite pickup position is. So time for some high gain fun. I'm going to kick on my BK Butler tube driver in combination with my Vemram Janray. I'm going to go to the bridge position. I'm going to first demo it with the tone control all the way on 10. I'm going to play the same part again, but rolling the tone control back to 2. This is another feature that I really love on this guitar, is having a dedicated tone control for the bridge pickup only. So let's check out what that sounds like. So I found with the bridge pickup tone all the way on 10, it's very bright and almost brash, which is to be expected from a Strat style bridge pickup. However, rolling that tone control back to 2 really transformed that bridge pickup into a thick, creamy tone. It's one of my go-to lead tones. So a request I sometimes receive on the channel is to demo these guitars in a more real-world, everyday context. So let's take the Silver Sky down into the basement. I'll record some footage with just my iPhone, no post-production. I'll go through all 5 pickup positions, playing through my car Telstar, set mostly clean, on the verge of breakup. But when I get to the bridge pickup position, I'll be kicking on a Zen Drive pedal for some high gain lead tones with a little bit of reverb from the amplifier. So let's check that out. So let me know what you think of the basement demo. Do you find that to be a helpful reference along with the more highly produced demos that I do? If so, I'd be happy to incorporate that perspective into future videos as well. And so when I went to Brian's guitars, I tried 3 examples of the Silver Sky SE Rosewood fingerboard version in piano black. And thanks, Dan, for getting those set up for me. And so the 3 examples I auditioned, I found to be remarkably consistent across their weight, playability, and tone. And so I was really impressed with the quality control on these guitars. And so to demonstrate how consistent these guitars sounded, here's some footage of me in the shop auditioning 2 of the examples. I'll splice the footage together for an A/B comparison and let me know what you're hearing. And so the 2 reasons why I chose this particular example came down to the fingerboard. It has a remarkably dark board, almost black, and it's consistent all the way up and down it. And I really prefer dark fingerboards purely for aesthetic reasons. And when I like the way a guitar looks, I tend to want to pick it up and play it more. The other factor was the headstock was unique. It's very subtle, but if you look closely, there's actually a little bit of figuring in the maple, which I don't think is very common on this particular model. And so that appealed to me as well. So as for the playability of the guitar, I did ask for the action to be lowered a touch at the shop, and I asked for it to go as low as it can without creating any string buzz or fretting out when I do big bends, and it came out perfectly. The action measures somewhere between 1.5 and 1.75 millimeters on the low E string at the 12th fret, and it's coming in around 1.5 millimeters on the high E side. And so even with the more vintage style fingerboard radius of 8.5 inches, you don't have to worry about strings fretting out when you bend, which is evident from the big Gilmore style bend I did in the intro solo. And so the bigger question I know many of you are grappling with is, if I can only choose one PRS Silver Sky SE, would it be the Rosewood board or would it be the maple board? Do they sound any different? Do they feel any different? Which one do I prefer and why? So stay tuned, I'll be answering all those questions in an upcoming video. So that wraps it up. If you enjoyed the content, please consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. That would really help get the content out to others that may enjoy it as well. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.